Anyways, welcome to the losers final. It's going to be Knusch here, who was just knocked down, versus Blink-182 in a French mirror. And well, we do have the opening here with double scout on both of these players. Talked about it earlier today. I'll reiterate. The plan is to get as many sheep as possible, and the reason you go for double scout is the fact that Prarie has more than enough sheep for everybody. There is sheep everywhere on this gosh darn map. And get as many of them as possible and delay you moving out. So, a French mirror. It's the battle. Who has the more knights? That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I guess an interesting deviation will be how many knights people make. There's a lot to consider here. Is it one knight? Is it two knights? Is it three knights? So many questions. Yeah, and obviously you want to add spears because you want to add spears. You want to add archers, so on and so forth. So classical 1-1-1 seems to make the most sense. I suppose we'll see some variation of that for both players, and then some variation of second TC. Knusch, usually the first to add TCs, we'll see if his timing continues to be as strong. An interesting fact, Blink-182 and Chuck Francis are almost the same rank on the ladder. They're within like 2 ranks of each other.
Okay.
143 and 141.
Very interesting. So, Knusch right now. 17 sheep versus the 18. So quite equal.
Well, you say versus, but it's not like the sheep are fighting in some big struggle to the death.
They are battling on who is the better sheep.
And is there, like, if this was a Malian mirror, would there be a battle on who is the best cow?
Yes. And I win.
Okay.
Always.
I'm glad I don't play with you. The School of Cavalry going down for Knusch. Nice and quick, actually. Like a good... Like, at least a good 15 to 20 seconds faster.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, it won't really matter because...
They have the exact same res also.
Yeah, they are
much.
Pretty darn identical. The knight here doesn't really make a difference because at the time it will arrive in the opponent's face.
Yeah.
You will have that knight out. But it will be interesting to see. Often we actually do see wheelbarrow coming out. Is it the same here? It is wheelbarrow out actually for both of them. So it's definitely interesting. Often we see.
I'm confused.
I did press that button, Ascalad.
And Knusch has, Blink-182 has yet to, there we go, he did queue it up.
But yep, anyways, wheelbarrow as well. It's gonna be a little bit later. It's not gonna matter. Actually, it probably might matter. But one of the
it's a mirror, like, only the small things matter. Right? Surely.
Is that what you keep on telling yourself?
Yes, every time I lose, it's always, oh.
Where are the sheep though? They're like, is one of them even inside the town center? Yeah, you can. One of them is actually like even inside. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we're staring at the small things. Anyways, often you see in French mirrors like this, who drops the first other, like the second production building they drop, and by second I mean the first one they build. That's not the landmark. It really tells you a lot of the plan and their thought process about a mirror. Either you can go with the stable to double down on your knight production. You can either go spears and really be a counter to those knights, or you can go with an archery range to counter the spears that then counter the knights, which will give you the upper hand in a normal fight where your enemy went for the spears.
While you navigate this complex mess, I'll just point out that Knusch will make no more knights.
That is a very fair point. He will simply just move out.
That's that. That's the end of the knight story.
Gosh darn it. Alright. But anyways.
Whereas Blink is doubling down on the knights, dropping an outpost. So
One charge, just getting the charge off, and oh my gosh, it takes so much damage in return though. Blink quick on the trigger, and now he has double knights out. That means that Knusch with the double knight. Where's his second knight actually?
right,
There it is.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty much identical at this point, except that Knusch's knight is slightly lower HP because he did get a charge off on a villager, and the villager is now sitting under the town center, I believe. I'm just gonna check that.
No, it's out on.
Yeah, no, it's on the field. So there is possibility for something to happen here.
I mean, it's playing against French. It's something you probably should do, but it's like very hard and very tough to think about. It's like when you pull back these guys and then you also pull back these guys to inside your town center, you should take the lower villager and put it on your sheep, for example. But it's so hard and you're so busy thinking of other things that it's not something you realistically can do. But hopefully, maybe though, this charge could be good. It's gonna get a single villager though. So the first villager kill, the first blood will go over to Knusch. The question is, can he keep alive this little French villager though? Scout was on the front side there, ready to tank up a potential charge. But these guys should just move back. And move back. They are. But now, do you see that deviation we were talking about? Barracks coming out for Knusch. Already have two on the field. He was actually ready to... He's ready. He's readying up for actually going to town centers. And
Yes,
this
he
is...
And
Oh, that's a quick villager kill. Potentially look to get some more here though. Depends on who he forces or chooses to target down. Will take down one of the scouts. And maybe one will be taken down in return. Absolutely it does. And on the other side, Knusch busy microing. Will be losing a knight. Will be losing a scout as well. But will be getting some villager kills in return.
yeah, that's pretty like equal on both sides. Knusch kills 2 villagers, Blink gets one villager, but Knusch idles a little bit. Everyone's fine at the end of the day, but the more interesting decisions to be made are both decided to go spears. But Knusch went only 1 barracks, Blink went 2. And Knusch is now going to drop the outpost on us. It feels like we're just transposing. We're returning to our symmetry. Eventually, Knusch will drop another barracks.
This could be good. I mean, he doesn't have the information that the double barracks has come through. We'll see, though. This is actually a decent trade, all in all, for Knusch. Is able to pick up 2 knights in return for a couple of spears. So definitely a cost-effective trade. This, hopefully, though, if these villagers are able to make it back, they will actually have enough stone to actually put down that town center. No, they will not. I'm absolutely... No, my math was correct the first time. Never second guess. But now, the army numbers, they're absolutely looking superior for Blink.
Yes, because Knusch has the res for a second DC and Blink doesn't, so it makes logical sense. Knusch's DC is going to secure wood. Definitely a relevant resource on this map. And Blink notices this. Where is his...
But is it a relevant resource in this matchup is the question. Scout. He's going to be tanking up the initial hits. Nice on the backside. Is fighting though. Could get some villagers out here to actually help him out with this battle. So he might actually potentially lose this one to micro here from Blink-182. It's pretty good. Scout is just going to be standing there and actually going to be forcing it out. So they will... it's getting late. The town center will go up, but it will not help him secure any new or any real resources he can use in a potential upcoming fight here.
There's a board there.
Oh, there actually is a board there. You're right. So, this could be good. They do already have their pikes out, but it's the wrong type of pike, because they will just hide them in straight up in fair as the knights are coming out. Chivalry has been completed for Blink-182 here. And so is Siege
Knusch.
Engineering.
Knusch doesn't really see any point in clicking Chivalry when there is only one knight on the board. Blink sees the sees the TC, instantly goes rounds, and professional scouts. No survival techniques coming in for Knusch. Makes sense. If you drop a board, you usually want to get survival techniques. No archers for either player yet. It's just gonna be spears, knights, and so much more army for Blink. But is it gonna be enough to overcome the defender's advantage of the outpost and the town center? We'll find out.
Hopefully. Just hopefully.
I guess you could make an argument that you don't need archers if you don't have knights.
Don't need them. But now, forced off this board. Has collected a decent amount of food already, though. The town center and the tower will definitely be helping out a little bit, but that tower, it's not going to be long for this world. It's kind of been targeted down already, though. Villagers running around, running back, nowhere to hide, in fact. So they need to keep on running. Now, this town center under a lot of pressure, under a lot of threat. Knusch is able to trade somewhat efficiently here, though, but the issue is this ram still hitting. Can't really jump out because this is not the main town center, so we'll stop firing. Does have ranged armor. Simply
the town center holds, and the longer the town center holds, obviously the better it is.
Uh-oh, these villagers, they're trying. They want some food, they're hungry. But they don't want to die just yet.
What I'm more worried about is Knusch's production. He's dropped 2 ranges, which I think doesn't make too much sense. I expected him to drop more barracks. But I suppose it's alright. It's not the worst. Knusch is 5 villages up. It's not really a game-changing lead in any way whatsoever. And the army is what I'm more scared about. 1 ram wasn't enough, but the ram isn't dead yet. And you're just going to make 2 more rams here. Blink-182 looking to really force down this town center and finish the job that he began.
Yeah, 3 rams, definitely gonna be enough though. Villagers are out here. Textiles is in queue. And the second town center could be on the menu. Highly doubt it, but it could be.
Yeah, Knusch does have 4 knights out now.
Yeah, that tower is not gonna go up. The knight here is gonna be targeting down the mill. Doesn't really care about that. Cares much more about taking out their opponent's town center. 3 battering rams now going to be targeting down. Nothing you can realistically do now. And the archers is starting to join the party. Is targeting down the spears. Not going to be doing a whole lot right now. This Knusch's army is just disappearing. The knights, the strength of them, it's just too big. The town center, it's gone. Battering rams still alive. Villagers now on the run. Knusch has nothing to defend with. The knights that Knusch has made, they're on the attack, they're on the offensive. Trying to idle some eco. 5 eco lead right now. That lead will not be growing any bigger for Knusch. He's going to be losing a lot here as well. These villagers, there's no more space. Probably should be finding a barn to find anything in. If we learned anything from Jesus. I don't know why he came up with that reference. Anyways, battering rams are going to be targeted down. The villagers running around. And right now, Texel doing a lot of work. Being able to save these villagers for the time being. It's just running around. Battering them as well. The knights was able to find something though.
Yes, and despite all of this, like after all of these shenanigans, Knusch is 3 villages behind.
Yep.
You could argue that Blink spent a lot of res on the rams and lost a lot of army, but Knusch just has lost more. If you just look at the destroyed value, you know what's going on. And Knusch is like, well, you destroyed that TC, I'll just make another.
I don't know what his idea is here though. Does he want to make another town center? Does he just want to make a lot of towers with emplacements? Like, I don't know.
Well, it definitely looks like he wants to make a town center. because he's heading for pretty much the exact same spot. There's a raid here in the back, at least.
He's just running past. We haven't really talked about this, but Blink went up with the town center himself. Potentially might be looking for to go for a second, but this could just be emplacements if he ever so pleases. And I feel like Blink could actually have been extending his push, extending his lead a lot further when he was already winning these fights, going deep under his town center with those battering rams, pulling a couple of villagers and making a couple of towers.
Yeah, Knusch doesn't have the wood for his town center. Is going to double down on that idea. Meanwhile, more raids. And the night numbers, pretty rough. Pretty rough.
Yeah, destruction value. So it's pretty high. Now Boar is going to be taken by Blink.
Yeah, Knusch is way back. Well, he did add he added back the second town center. It was there earlier.
It's literally the same spot, just closer, so we can take the Boar. This actually might be a little bit too close, because I don't think you actually might be able to fit 8 people around that. I might be wrong. But Knusch, have to give him props. Yeah, a lot of us think that this game would be over by a long shot, but he is sticking it. He really wants to have that rematch against Chuck Francis in the winners final. Now, those knights are going to be discovering the town center is back, and they definitely wonder, how did it get there? The knights running around. Knusch is able to defend with so little army, and Blink, he's also been moving into the archers himself now, so 1-1-1 comp for both players. So I guess it's a 1-1-1-1-1 comp, or battle.
6, basically.
Yes.
The interesting, the funny part is, I like to think that Blink did a double take. He came here, he was like, wait, didn't I kill this TC already?
It's like, is this the Mongols? But yeah, here we go. Here's what I was talking about, right? If you put a tower and really secure your position forward when you already were having such a good time, it allows you. But here the raid's coming through. It's going to be spotting out them taking the boar and the deer carcasses. And already this boar has actually been taken more out of than I feel like this boar has been.
Yeah, because 90% of the time was spent building fortifications around the boar.
Now these knights has been cleared up. An interesting use of the choke points there. Very good. They're recognized by Blink. Tower was cancelled and both villagers in fact actually died. How is this game still going? I'm actually asking myself that. Knusch is doing such a good job of just holding this.
Well, Blink is housed. The raiding is super irritating to deal with. They're equal on builds, but the army numbers are just ridiculous. And I just get the feeling that if Blink just attack moved into Knusch's base, it would be kind of hard for Knusch to find a solution.
And honestly, it's... Hear me out! Hear me out. Trade. If Blink was trading behind all of this...
Then he wouldn't have the wood for the rams.
Or would he? Because French traders. Anyways, those ramps that we were talking about. It's going to be targeting down this tower. That boar, the food, the main source of food. Knusch has right now under threat. Tower doesn't have the fortify just yet. But all military upgrades are. Knusch was flirting a little bit with going up to castle, but with this attack he certainly can't. And now the micro has to be very clean. Town center under fire, under threat by both battering rams soon enough. These villagers need to jump out and kill the battering rams. The archers need to be killing the spear, and the spear needs to be defended. Or needs to be defending the archers, but now that Night Mass will be coming up onto the archers. It's going to be under a lot of threat here as well. The town center, yet again, will go down. I feel like we've seen this one before, and Knusch was still able to hold. Blink far from being able to go castle himself, so that's not going to be any idea. And now, I want you to pull some villagers, make some towers, secure the positions. Yet again, this game, it feels like it's gone long enough, and with the villager numbers being where they are, I'm surprised there has been so few kills. Now, both players equal amount of upgrades. Not equal amounts of army though. Villager numbers looking pretty similar. Battering rams targeting down the outpost, making sure that there's nowhere to hide for Knusch right now.
Yeah, this game feels very deja vu-ish for sure. I just keep seeing the same thing happen over and over again. Look, there's a raid here. Look, there's a raid there. It doesn't help that both players have such similar colors. Anyway, Knusch has somehow found ways to stay in the game by creatively playing with towers and town centers and popping his units in and out and weaving them through. But eventually, this crusade is going to have to turn into a straight-up fight at some point. And I'm not sure that there's any solution to what Blink-182 is saying.
Ooh, that's not a good trade for a battering ram. I understand the idea, but not the execution. We do have, though, Knusch. He's been moving out onto that little sneaky position. It's not going to be checked for the time being, so we definitely will be going undisturbed for a long time. The numbers for Blink, they're building and building. Knusch is having a tough time keeping up production. And now the town center under threat. A lot of farms, but all of them is not working right now. Everybody's gone on vacation, doing the opposite of what the Mista does, which is go home and play AoE. Do not farm. Mista, he farms. Do not play AoE. But Knusch, after a long fought battle, he realizes the game is over. And that does mean the Blink-182, he will be facing off against Chuck Francis in the grand finals. That will be coming up shortly.